So during the recent Disney press conference call, where of course they answered numerous questions, Disney's Bob Iger was specifically asked regarding properties that are out there that Disney wants to get their hands back on, and he had a few things to say about that. So look, there's a lot of properties out there that Disney clearly wants in their portfolio. We know that Warner Brothers owns the rights to Star Wars when it comes to certain TV things, so naturally they want those back. If they have to pay for them, they probably will, or do some exchanges for certain things. Now, at the same time, there's also other things out there. Now, what these consist of, we don't really know the full details, but we know there's certain things out there like rights to Namor, right? For example, he's one of these characters that lands between different contracts. And when Bob Iger was specifically asked, what's your guys' approach? What are you looking to do? He said, look, what you've heard about us going out there, trying to strike deals and trying to buy back characters and properties that we own with the IPs we got out there, it's true. So he more or less says, look, you've heard the stories. Yes, we want our characters. We want everything we've bought to be fully with us so we can focus on our home brands. Now, of course, existing contracts, can be compared to certain things like Fantastic Four and X-Men, for example. If Marvel could have just been bought by Disney and everything rolled back, then things would have been fine, right? But there's contracts in place that have to be waited out. Some have to be bought out, like the Fantastic Four and X-Men. So those things they're already working on, but there's going to be certain elements that are out there that aren't necessarily part of this deal yet, right? So they're going to go out there and try to figure things out, try to get these things, try to take them back, and certain things are going to work out certain ways. And you can understand why this is such a complex problem, I think, because a lot of these deals were struck before the advent of the internet and knowing what streaming and all this was going to be. So some of these things are so archaic that you have to read between the lines and talk to the people being like, do we reach an agreement or do we go to court over this, right? So on one hand, things are all going to be under Disney eventually for everything they bought, but on the other, it's going to take a while.